Joining now live from Minneapolis is Jason DeRusha, a journalist, radio talk show host there who has been giving us perspective from the ground through all of this. Jason, welcome back to The Story Is.
Thanks, Elex.
Does it feel today, with Bovino moving out, with Trump actually talking to Walz and Frey, like maybe the fever is breaking a bit?
Cautious optimism about that, right? We've heard a lot of words, and it's going to be about action at this point. But let's be real. What a day of at least activity on the political front. I think a lot of us are saying, like, why weren't these conversations happening at the beginning of this instead of having two people whose lives have been lost in this? And frankly, an entire governmental agency whose credibility is now, I would say, in the toilet after what happened this weekend.
Because it's been interesting. We know that the liberals have been against President Trump. And we know that he not only doesn't seem to really care about that, but in some ways delights in that. But it seemed like this weekend, some of his own folks, even some of his own folks in law enforcement, were saying, that was a bad shoot. Something's wrong here.
Yeah. And obviously each shooting that involves a law enforcement agent or an officer, you can get in the weeds on the exact details, the legality, on and on and on. But when they come out afterwards and tell you that Alex Preddy was intent on, maximum destruction, like he was some sort of monster, outrageous. And today in Minnesota, the Chiefs of Police Association asked for a meeting with the White House and then having these conversations finally with the governor. We also had here a number of Republican elected officials who are very supportive of the president say, we need ICE to either pause or get out, period. And that is quite a change. That is new this weekend.
So talk about how much of an impact this has had. I mean, you can't really put the genie back in the bottle, but how do you go forward in terms of the folks in Minneapolis to find some healing and to move forward and get out of this crisis state?
I will say the way that the people here have acted, obviously the most dramatic visuals of this are sort of the tense interactions and the people following ICE and yelling at ICE and all of that. But on Friday, we had tens of thousands of people very peacefully marching through the streets of Minneapolis on an afternoon that it was 20 below zero. I think we've seen a type of protest here that was forceful, but also peaceful. So it's very different from when we had a burned down city and destroyed businesses after George Floyd's murder. This is very, very different. So I don't know that the healing is going to have to be between the state and the federal government. That is a new dynamic, but I do think the people here are ready to get back to business.
And based off of what we're seeing late tonight, that protest may have been effective and may be an inflection point in this whole national conversation about immigration. Jason DeRusha, thank you so much for joining us live from Minneapolis. Really appreciate your perspective.
Thanks, Alex.